Welcome to NFL Imperialism. You may have seen this concept floating around YouTube, but I wanted to put my own spin on it and hopefully improve it. Before we get started, I humbly ask that you take a moment to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. This is going to be a series, and this channel has some other videos as well, sports related, entertainment related. We do a lot here, trying to grow the audience. We appreciate the fact that you're here right now. We ask that you continue to stay with us. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. If you're interested in a full, thorough breakdown of how this imperialism works, please check out the first 3 minutes or so of the 1966 video, which is linked in the description below. Otherwise, we are ready to start. Today, we will be diving into the 1976 season. Now, this is a big season in NFL history because it is the first time since the AFL-NFL merger that the league expanded. Taking a look at what this new map is going to look like, the northwest corner of the country, the state of Washington, is now belonging to the Seattle Seahawks. And the state of Florida is now split. The southeastern portion will be with the Miami Dolphins, while the northwestern portion will be with the new expansion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 1976 was the breakthrough season for the Oakland Raiders. Longtime bridesmaids finally got to be at the altar, winning Super Bowl 11, and they did so at the expense of the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Vikings might rule the roost in imperialism, but in the real world, this was their fourth Super Bowl loss, including 3 of the previous 4 seasons. Will these teams be there in the end to win Imperialism 11? According to our rankings, yes, they have an excellent chance, ranking number 2 and 3 respectively. The Steelers, looking for their 3rd consecutive Super Bowl, failed to do so in the real world, but they still rank number 1 according to us. The Rams and the Colts close out a standard top 5. We got some newcomers in the bottom 5, not surprisingly, our 2 expansion teams are down there at the bottom. The Seahawks are clearly second worst because Tampa, well, some of you may know, Tampa did not win a game in the real 1976 season. Might they do so in imperialism? Let's get this thing kick-started. We get our first ever spin of a 28-team wheel, and it's going to land on the Eagles. The arrow's going to take them slightly southeast. That's enough to bypass the Giants and hit the Jets' territory. Eagles at Jets will be our first game in 1976. The Jets trail 14-7 late in the first half, trying to get something going here. This is a flea flicker and what was that? A flea flicker for a short pass. It gets intercepted by Bill Bradley, run back in for the touchdown. The Jets tried to make something happen, and they did, but they did it for the Eagles. That gives them a 21-7 lead going into the half. The Eagles tacked one more on. The final score of this game will be Eagles 28, Jets 7. So, taking a look at the map here, southern New Jersey will now turn a darker shade of green. The Eagles take over that land and are able to win Game 1 in 1976. With our first team out of the picture, we now spin the wheel again, and this is going to be close between the Raiders and the Colts. It just hits the Colts. The arrow is going to go slightly northeast, so just like that, the Eagles are going to be pulled into a game again. They will be the first team to play the first 2 games of an imperialism season. Can they pull it off, this time at home, against the Colts? In the fourth quarter, the Colts lead by 11, trying to extend that lead. Play action from quarterback Burt Jones. The pass goes to Glenn Doughty. Back of the end zone, touchdown. That will make the score 31-13. The Eagles couldn't get any closer. In fact, they gave up more at the end. The Colts win this game 38-13. Eagles beat a bottom 3 team, then lost to a top 3 team. So the Colts are going to expand a little bit more than they may have expected, having played a team that already expanded themselves. The Eagles fall off the map, the Colts' territory gets a bit bigger. Our next spin of the wheel is going to be taking us out west. That's the LA Rams. The arrow is going to be going slightly southeast, and that slight movement to the east will give us the Chargers territory. Rams at Chargers is next. The Rams completely dominated this game on the ground, so this play action pass certainly worked. James Harris throws it up to Ron Jesse. That's 34 yards for the touchdown, giving the Rams a 30-14 lead. They extend that to 37-14, which became our final score. So Southern California will now belong completely to the Rams. The Chargers are out of the game, and the Rams, for the 11th straight season, win at least one game in Imperialism. We're ready to spin the wheel one more time. This is going to be close between the Colts and the Lions. It'll be the Lions. Arrow's going to take them southwest, so a rare opening expansion for the Lions. They head into the state of Indiana, and they grow their land. That was our first expansion this season. Now the wheel will select the Cardinals, and we're going to get a photo finish here. Look at that arrow just missing the state of Illinois and hitting Kentucky. This is going to be an interesting looking expansion for the Cardinals, as they now have Eastern Missouri and Kentucky all at once. Back at the wheel we go. Another close call. That's going to be the Cowboys, barely over the Bills. Arrow goes north, slightly northwest, but not northwest enough to miss the Oklahoma Panhandle. That is going to now be an expansion for the Cowboys. We'll be getting a game next. I can feel it. The arrow is going to just go into the Raiders. Arrow goes southeast. Because of that slight slant in the border there, that will hit the Rams territory. This is going to be an intriguing matchup. The Raiders, reigning Super Bowl champions. The Rams themselves, a top 5 team this season, and playing at home. How will this shake out? The Raiders lead by 6 points in the first half and are driving from the 25-yard line. Ken Stabler drops back, throws it to Cliff Branch, gets up and gets it, sneaks it past the pylon into the end zone. That gives the Raiders a 20-7 lead. The Rams will have a chance to strike back before halftime. They're at the 40-yard line with 18 seconds left. They pitch it to John Capoletti. He turns the corner, evades a couple of tacklers, breaks a tackle, breaks another, and as time expires, gets into the end zone for a huge touchdown. That makes it 20-14 at the half. The Rams are staying in this game. It is 2014 still in the third quarter. Play action. James Harris throws it up to Ron Jesse. He gets taken down at the 2-yard line. On the next play, the Rams try another play action. James Harris gets sacked and knocked out of the game. Pat Hayden will come in. They settled for a field goal. 2017, they have the ball again from the 29-yard line. Handoff goes to Lawrence McCutcheon. Couple of hurdles, and he can't quite get to the end zone, but what a run that was. The Rams are going to be looking to get a touchdown here, not a field goal. Pat Hayden throws it to Jesse. That's a touchdown in the back of the end zone. The Rams take the lead right back, 24-20. What will Oakland do in response? From midfield, Ken Stabler backs up, throws it to Cliff Branch, beats the defenders, gets away from the defenders, and gets it all the way in for the long touchdown. Cliff Branch is having himself a game. The Raiders now take the lead back. What will the Rams do? From their own 45, it's 3rd and 1. They're going to throw. Dumps it off to McCutcheon, who picks up the first down. Big play keeps the drive alive. The chance to either tie or take the lead. Now, from the 29, play action. The throw to Ron Jesse on the out. He's by himself and takes it in the rest of the way. The Rams have retaken the lead in this seesaw of a game, 31-27. Now it's the Raiders' turn. It's 4th down, 2:35 to go. The pass goes to Clarence Davis. They wrap him up, but he breaks the tackle and he picks up the first. What a play to keep that drive going, and going it does. From just behind midfield, the Rams bring the defense up. The Raiders call an audible. They're going to be throwing it. What a pickup there by Mark Van Egan in the backfield to get it off to Cliff Branch. Picks up over 20 yards there. Very next play, well, actually 2nd down now. The handoff goes to Clarence Davis, the hero of this drive. Breaks a tackle, takes off. Touchdown Raiders. 1:34 to go. The extra point will give the Raiders a 34-31 lead. Now it's the Rams' chance. It's 2nd and 4 from the 46, their own 46. Play action. Hayden looks deep to Ron Jesse. Knocked away. 3rd down. They're going to try, I think, the same play, yes. But they dump it off to Capoletti, who gets taken down immediately. Now it's 4th and 3. This is the ball game. Hand off to Cullen Bryant, in for the injured McCutcheon. He's stopped. And that's it. What exciting game this was. Back and forth. Everybody scored in every quarter. The Raiders, reigning Super Bowl champions, get to stay in Imperialism. They go on the road and beat the Rams 34-31. Now we got to look at this map here. The Rams, just like the Eagles, were called into action 2 times in a row. And also just like the Eagles, weren't able to stay in the game. The Raiders will take over all of Southern California, and except for the 49ers way up north, own the state. They are definitely a favorite moving forward. After all that excitement, we're ready for a different kind of excitement. The Buccaneers are up for the first time ever. They're going southeast, and they got to go to Miami. So, this 1976 Bucs team that never won a game is going to try to win one in Imperialism. Let's see what they can do. How about taking an early lead for starters? Here near the end of the first quarter, the handoff goes to Ed Williams, and the Buccaneers go into Miami and take a 7-0 lead. Now they have the ball still up 7-0, going for a field goal. This will be from 43 yards out, and Steve Spurrier picks it up and runs with it. That's why they were a winless expansion team. Here late in the first half, they're able to stop Miami on 3rd down, hold them to a field goal, take a 7-3 lead into the second half. Now it's 7-6. This is Dave Green punting. Remember him from Cincinnati. He holds the ball too long, and it was blocked and picked up by rookie linebacker Larry Gordon. Almost scores. Norm Bulash is able to punch it in on the very next play. Miami finally takes the lead 13-7, and they would not relinquish it. The Bucs put up a fight, but they go down 23-7 in their first ever Imperialism game. So this map is going to look like it always had before Tampa Bay arrived. The state of Florida will belong to Miami, and they sit with Atlanta next to them, isolated from the rest of the country. We got the Buccaneers in action. Now we're going to be looking to get the Seahawks in action. It won't be on this spin. It lands on the Giants. Arrow's going to go straight north. That's going to set up a matchup with the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. In the third quarter, we're tied at 14. Buffalo has the ball at the 40-yard line. The handoff to O.J. Simpson. The defense surrounds him, but he gets 12 big yards. Leads to a field goal. The ensuing kickoff goes to rookie receiver Jimmy Robinson. Runs it back past the 30 to the 25. Also leads to a field goal. We're now tied at 17. From the 30, Joe Ferguson hands it to O.J. on the sweep. Gets around, spins around, gets it all the way down to the 35-yard line, 35-yard gain. Couple plays later here, from the 30, the Bills call an audible, go from a one-back to a two-back set. Joe Ferguson throws it up to Bob Chandler, makes the catch, gets past the defender for the touchdown. That's a big play for Buffalo. They take the lead, 24-17. The Giants trying to come back. It's 3rd and 2. Craig Morton drops back. Looks to tight end Bob Tucker deep. It's incomplete. Buffalo gets the ball back. This will be their chance to put it away. And OJ is swallowed in the backfield. So now the Giants on 3rd and 4. They've been grinding the ball down the field. They're going to take a shot. Receiver Walker Gillette leaps up, makes the catch. That's a touchdown with 1:21 to go. The extra point will tie the game. Does Buffalo have enough time to take the lead back from their own 32? It goes to Simpson. On the sweep. Drags, gets away, spins away. Big play there. They're not quite in field goal range yet. Are they going to go to Simpson again? They will. Stopped in the backfield, but gets free. Cuts through the middle. Spins around again, is taken down, and they're going to bring out kicker George Jakowenko, his one season with Buffalo. This for the win from 43, and it's good. And the Bills, not a great team in 1976, but they get this win over the Giants 27-24. So as far as landmass goes, not a big victory. Northern New Jersey will head over to the Bills' territory. But it was a sensational win with a very late field goal, and the Bills will certainly take it. That was an exciting down-to-the-wire kind of game. Can we see more of that? Well, the wheel selects the Oilers, and the arrow sends them into Cowboys' territory. Will we get that exciting game, or will we get just another Cowboy blowout over a lesser opponent? Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, turnover, touchdown. Score after 1 quarter, final score. Old map, new map. Moving on. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to some real football here. This wheel is going to be landing on the Redskins, and the arrow is going to take them to the northwest, with that proximity to the Colts means we're going to get that game. Washington at Baltimore. The Colts in their own territory holding on to a 17-10 lead in the second half. Burt Jones throws it to Lydell Mitchell. He breaks a tackle, but he fumbles as he goes down, and the Redskins are looking to pick it up, and they do. Running it back to about the 11, they dive to give it up right there. But on the next play, the handoff goes to Calvin Hill, an older, slower, but still effective Calvin Hill. Ties this game up at 17 apiece. And we're set up for a nice little ending here, hopefully. Colts get the ball back. They are now in Washington territory. The handoff goes to Mitchell. He just breezes through some guys, gets into the end zone, making up for that fumble. Wow, he was shot out of a cannon right there, it looked like. 24-17. The Colts are able to extend it to 31-20 here. Joe Theismann off the bench for the injured Billy Kilmer. And this is a young Theismann, not quite ready for prime time. That was 4th down. They lose the ball. The Colts now have it from their own 15, up by 11. The pitch goes to Mitchell. He looks like he's stopped, but he spins through, and he breaks a tackle, and he keeps going, turns on the afterburners. He's being chased by about 5 guys, and none of them can get him down, and he keeps going. He hurdles. What a run. That really had no impact on the game, but it needed to be seen to be believed. That extends the score to 38-20. That's going to be our final, and Washington put up a fight. The Colts that offense is something, led by Burt Jones and Lydell Mitchell. Looking at the map here, the Colts aren't going to pick up a whole lot of land. They're taking Washington, D.C. away from the Redskins, but they do become the first team to win twice in 1976 Imperialism. We proceed with our next spin of the wheel, and we will be getting the New Orleans Saints. The arrow will spare us a matchup with the Dallas Cowboys. It went northeast. That's an expansion now into the state of Mississippi. We check back in with the wheel, and this is going to be very close. Falcons or Bengals? Just barely the Bengals. Arrow will go south. That's going to give us Bengals at Cardinals. They gave us a banger in last season's Imperialism. Can they give us another? The Cardinals have a 1st and goal. Jim Hart drops back, throws, and J.V. Kane gets it to the inch line. 2nd down. Pass incomplete. 3rd down. The handoff to Jim Otis for the touchdown. The Cardinals convert their goal-to-go situation. First one's on the board. They lead 7-0. They have the ball again, this time backed up against their own goal line. The handoff is immediately snuffed out. That is Ron Carpenter making a tackle in the end zone for the safety. That gets the Bengals on the board. It's now 7-2. The Bengals take the ensuing free kick and drive it all the way down. And on their goal-to-go situation from the 1-yard line, on 1st down, they scored a touchdown. 9-7's our halftime score. Now in the 3rd quarter, the Cardinals from the 5. Jim Hart is going to look for Mel Gray. That's a touchdown. And the Cardinals retake the lead. It is now 14-9. What does Cincinnati have in store? They're facing 3rd and goal all the way back from the 21-yard line. Play action. Ken Anderson looks for Isaac Curtis. Touchdown. Isaac Curtis is everywhere all the time. Extra point will make it 16-14. Now it's the Cardinals' turn from the 42-yard line. The pitch goes to Terry Metcalf. Turns the corner, gets away from defenders, spins away, spins away, spins away. He's like a washing cycle. They have a 1st and goal situation again. 1st down handoff, stuffed. 2nd down handoff, stuffed. 3rd down handoff, stuffed. They have to settle for the field goal. It is good. The goal-to-go situation is becoming everything in this game. It's 17-16. Now it's 3rd and 10. The Bengals from midfield. They run the ball. It's Archie Griffin, and he picks up the first. What a ballsy play call. On the very next play now. 1st down from the 36. Anderson drops back. I wonder who he's looking for. It's Isaac Curtis. It's a touchdown. The Bengals retake the lead, 23-17, and now the Cardinals are going to have one last chance to respond. 1st and goal from the 5. The handoff, stopped for a 1-yard gain. 2nd down pitch, that's a loss of 2. 3rd down, looking to throw to the end zone, and it's intercepted. They won't even get a 4th down. That is Lamar Parrish making the pick for the Bengals, and the Bengals and Cardinals know how to give us a game. What a thriller here. 23-17, the Cardinals undone by goal-to-go situations. Bengals win. And now we look at this map. It's going to be an interesting landmass for the Bengals. They're going to take the Cardinals out. They now own Southern Ohio, Kentucky, and Eastern Missouri. We look to continue on with the excitement here in 1976. This wheel will select the Colts. Arrow's going to go southeast, and I guess expanding into Delaware could be considered exciting for some people. That is what the Colts are going to do here. Back to the wheel we go, giving a nice hefty spin there. It's going to land on the Bengals, and the Arrow's going to go northwest, so they're being asked to take the field once again and to travel once again. This time, they're going to be playing the Lions. We're tied at 7 in the 3rd quarter. The Lions have the ball just inside midfield. Greg Landry drops back the pass, faces the pressure, but gets the ball out. That's Larry Walton running under it for the catch and the touchdown, breaking the tie, giving the Lions a 14-7 lead. Now in the 4th quarter, it's 17-7. The Bengals have it, 4th and 10. This is it for them. That is Charlie Weaver breaking through, getting the sack. That will end the Bengals' hopes and give the Lions a 17-7 home victory here in Imperialism. So for the 2nd straight season, the Bengals win a thriller against the Cardinals, but are unable to answer the bell when called upon again. The Lions take the game, they take the Bengals' territory, and in the process, they expand their land. With 10 teams now eliminated, we're going to do a little bit of expansion. That's the Raiders heading southeast to take the state of Arizona. Next up are the Chiefs. They will head south into the state of Arkansas. This is going to be a close call on the wheel. Bears or Lions? Lions. Arrow will go northeast. That's actually going to be a game now. The Lions on the field for back-to-back games at Cleveland. Detroit holds on to a slim lead here in the 4th quarter from the 19-yard line. Greg Landry back to pass. Throws it to Dexter Bussey coming out of the backfield, dives into the end zone for the touchdown. Bussey's 3rd touchdown of the game. He added a 4th before it was over. 28-10 is their final score. The Lions were in a bit of a scrap there with the Browns, but were able to pull away late. So the Lions will now join the Colts as the only team to win a 2nd game in Imperialism. Many other teams tried before and failed. The Lions will take the Browns' territory and are looking like the dominant power in the Midwest. Let's see what the wheel has in store for us next. It will land on the Packers. The Arrow's going to take them south. So these two teams, the Packers and the Bears, do share a border, but we haven't seen too many games from them during this Imperialism run. Here we're going to get one, and it's going to be in Chicago. The Bears are holding on to a 2-touchdown lead very early in the 4th quarter. From the 41-yard line, quarterback Bob Avellini drops back, fires to James Scott. He will get into the end zone for the touchdown, extending the Bears' lead to 27-6. The Packers score late to lessen the gap, but the Bears take care of business, winning this game at home 27-13. So we've given the Falcons a lot of flack over the seasons for only winning once. Part of that's the fact that they've always played Miami. The Bears have also only won once prior to this season's Imperialism. They face different opponents, however. The fact of the matter right now is that the Packers attempted to invade the Bears' territory and did not succeed. So the Bears will take over the state of Wisconsin, expand their land, and live to fight another day. Teams continue to drop out of Imperialism as we go back to the wheel. This is a very close call. It stays with the Dolphins. The arrow's going to head to the northwest. So we just finished talking about the Falcons in terms of the Bears. Let's see if the Falcons can join the Bears by winning their second game in Imperialism. They're going to be hosting the Dolphins. The Falcons pulled the upset on Miami last season. This season's looking a little trickier. The Dolphins lead by 11. This pass goes to Nat Moore in the end zone for the touchdown. I will give the Dolphins a 21-3 lead. Each team tacked on a touchdown before the end of this. The Falcons did their best. They actually scored first, but the Dolphins are going to win this game 28-9. So everything looks back to normal now. The southeast corner of the U.S. is going to turn aqua. The Dolphins take over the Falcons' land and are in isolation. We're nearing the halfway point here in 1976. The wheel will select the 49ers, and the arrow's going to take them east. Nobody dare to play. That's the state of Nevada. The 49ers will expand their land. Right back to the wheel and right back to the 49ers. Northeast this time, that's going to be the state of Idaho, and that will put an end to the Seahawks' isolation. Might we get the 49ers for a third time? No, that's going to be the Lions. The arrow is going to take them to the west, so we're going to get a game here. Another NFC Central matchup, the Lions at the Bears. A defensive struggle. We're tied at 3 late in the third. The Lions bring the defense up. The Bears from the 10-yard line hand it off to the NFL's greatest running back of all time. Walter Payton bursts through for a 10-yard touchdown to give the Bears 10 points. They will tack on one more and win this game by a final score of 17-3. So the Bears are eating up their division. They took out the Packers. Now they're taking out the Lions. They take over their territory, and after going 10 years with only one win in Imperialism, they have 2 this season. We've now eliminated half of our 28 teams. This wheel is going to select the Raiders. Arrow's going to head to the southeast, and that's just going to catch that southwestern corner of New Mexico. The Raiders continue to expand their land. We'll give the wheel a second spin, and this time it will get past the Raiders and into the Vikings. Arrow's going to take them to the southeast. So what we have here now is the third different team from the NFC Central, known today as the North, to invade the Bears' territory. This will be the Bears' biggest challenge yet. Can they sweep out their entire division? The Vikings jump out to a 14-0 lead and get the ball again at the 5-yard line. The pass goes to Ahmad Rashad, shields the defender, collects it for the touchdown, and the Vikings just ran away with this one. 21-0 here, a final of 40-0. The Bears just did not have it today. So the idea of the Bears sweeping out the division does not happen. Minnesota's invasion into Illinois and the rest of Chicago's territory is successful. They take over the land, and our defending Imperialism champions always loom as a threat. We continue on with the second half of games in 1976. The wheel will give us the Saints, and the arrow will go north. So that's going to hit the Kansas City Chiefs territory. So New Orleans at Kansas City coming up next. Not a lot of fireworks on the scoreboard, but we are tied at 3 in the fourth quarter. Jan Stenerud comes out for a 47-yard field goal, and he buries it, giving the Chiefs a 6-3 lead. They get the ball back. They're on the Saints' 40. Mike Livingston looks to the middle of the field to his tight end Walter White. Yo, Mr. White makes the catch for the first down. They've got the ball down now at about the 12-yard line. The Saints bring the defense up. The Chiefs call an audible. Livingston drops back the pass. Looks to the end zone to rookie receiver Henry Marshall. Makes the catch, giving the Chiefs a 13-3 lead, the first, last, and only touchdown of the game. 13-3 is our final score. Chiefs successfully ward off the Saints invasion. Looking now at the map, the Saints had a couple of states in hand, Louisiana and Mississippi, but they will now fall to the Kansas City Chiefs, who weren't exceptional in 1976, but they get this win and expand their land. We check back in with the wheel, and it's going to give us the Raiders. They're getting pretty popular with the wheel here. This is a photo finish to the northwest. As you can see, that barely gets Utah. So instead of a 49ers-Raiders game, the Raiders will expand into that state. We'll give her another spin, and it's going to be landing on the Chiefs. Arrow will go to the northeast. That's going to be an expansion. The state of Tennessee now belongs to Kansas City. Maybe the third time's a charm, and we will get, for the first time ever, the Seattle Seahawks. Arrow's going to dip to the southeast. Not dip far enough, though. That will not hit Oregon. That will hit Idaho under the control of the 49ers. So here in 1976, and for the first time ever in Imperialism, the Seattle Seahawks will take the field, and they'll be playing at their modern-day rival, San Francisco 49ers. The Seahawks have kept it within 7 in the second half, but the 49ers are inside the 10. Jim Plunkett throws to Gene Washington, who dives into the end zone. That will double up the 49er lead to 24-10. They will add another score before it's all over. 31-10 is the final, but the Seahawks, like their expansion brethren, the Buccaneers before them, availed themselves very well in their debut appearance. So, this area of land in the northwest that has been empty for so long now belongs to the Seahawks, but now belongs to the 49ers. They'll take over that land and continue to expand their territory. More and more teams are falling as we head back to the wheel. For the first time, it'll land on the Broncos, and they will go to the northwest, so they will be expanding. That is the state of Wyoming. We try the wheel one more time, and once again, it's going to land on the Raiders. Arrow's going to take them to the northeast, so the Broncos just got called into action for the first time and expanded. Now they have to defend their home territory against 1976 champions, the Oakland Raiders. So when I went back to check the file for this game, I found it corrupted, unfortunately. The good news is I did get the score, and that was a Raider victory, 42-12. They led 28-0 at halftime and held on in the second half. Ken Stabler had a huge game throwing the ball. While we wish we had the actual footage of the Raider victory, it was a victory nonetheless, so they will take over the Broncos' land. That leaves us with just 10 teams, only 2 of which, the Steelers and the Patriots, have not been called into action at all. And from these 10 teams remaining, the wheel will select the Kansas City Chiefs. Arrow is going to take them to the northwest. That's actually going to be an expansion. That is the state of Kansas, and the Chiefs, for now, can avoid playing a game. We'll spin the wheel one more time and find that we land on the Baltimore Colts. The arrow will take them to the northwest, so now our number 1 ranked team, Pittsburgh Steelers, are finally being called into action. They will defend their land against the Colts. The Steelers take their opening drive right down the field, but they stall here inside the 10. This handoff to Franco Harris goes nowhere, so they have to settle for a field goal. They take a 3-0 lead. The Colts respond, though, from the 24-yard line. Quarterback Burt Jones, who was excellent in 1976, throws to Roger Carr, excellent in 1976. That's a touchdown. Then the wheels started falling off for the Steelers. That's an interception. On this long run, Rocky Bleier fumbles. And this would affect the Steelers' defense as well. On a play-action pass, Roger Carr makes a diving catch, gets up and scores. And then, later in the game, this handoff to Roosevelt Leaks goes for a touchdown. So the Colts take a commanding 21-3 lead into the fourth quarter. The Steelers are going to try to mount a comeback here. From the 3-yard line, it's 3rd and goal. The handoff to Franco Harris. He spins around and gets into the end zone. The onside kick is successful. Okay, something's going on here. It's now 4th and 1 from the 26. The Steelers are passing. Bradshaw throws to a covered Blyer, but he makes the catch, gets away, and scores. So it went from 21-3 to 21-17 pretty quickly. The Steelers still trail, but they're going to try another onside kick here. Can they get it? They do! So they've got the ball again. It's 3rd and 6, just inside the 50. Bradshaw rolls out. Looks like the same play as before, but this time Blyer goes down. So it's 4th and 1. They need this play. The run to Blyer. He gets around the edge, hurdles, and picks up 20 yards. And now the Steelers are in good position to take this lead. It's 2nd down. And they're running it again. This is Franco Harris. Right up the middle. Bulls his way past everybody. Goes down right at the edge of the goal line. But on the next play, he gets the touchdown. And unbelievably, the Steelers have come back from 21-3 to take a 24-21 lead. So they're going to kick it away this time. Don McCauley takes the kickoff, and he's making some moves, weaving in and out of traffic. And just like that, now the Colts are on the edge of field goal range. On 1st down, 34 seconds to go, the handoff to Leaks loses 5 yards. They're out of field goal range now. 2nd down, Burt Jones steps up into the pocket, finds Carr. It's a short gain, but enough to get him in field goal range. And they're going to come out and try it right now with 17 seconds to go. Tony Linhart, the NFL's leading scorer in 1976, 47 yards out. It's good. Wow, what a fourth quarter. This game is tied at 24. We are going to overtime. The Steelers had no business getting this done, but they did. The Colts win the overtime toss. They move the ball down to the 44-yard line. This is Lydell Mitchell. Did not have a good game today, but this was an important run. Now they're at the 20-yard line. 2nd and 1. The handoff goes to Leaks. He gets to the 10. That's a 1st down. And the Colts aren't going to waste any time. They're going to come out and kick this field goal. Tony Linhart from 28 yards out. It's a fake. Burt Jones picks up the ball. He runs with it, and he scores. Wow, what an ending. What a game. And the Steelers, they've got to be feeling sick right now. They made this huge comeback only to give up the last-second field goal. And then the Colts steal the game in overtime, 30-24. Gotta calm down a little bit here. That might be the best game we've had in any Imperialism. Just the fact that the Steelers made that furious comeback only to wind up losing the game. So we got to take a look at the map here. The Steelers, our number 1 ranked team, couldn't defend their home territory. The Colts take them off the map, pick up the rest of Pennsylvania. Not a big landmass gain, but they got a great team out of Imperialism, and we're now down to 9, and the Colts have to be taken extremely seriously. It's expansion time. We have the Dolphins in a photo finish that will take them into North Carolina. Now we have, finally, for the first time, the Patriots. They go south into Connecticut. This is close, but it's going to be the Colts. They will go south, slightly southeast to Virginia. Now we have the Vikings. They will go northwest into Iowa. This wheel will now select the Cowboys. The arrow goes north, so that's going to be a game against Kansas City. But we should mention this. The Colts just won a game where their quarterback, as a holder, scored a game-winning touchdown in overtime on a fake field goal. Okay, Cowboys and Chiefs is next. The Cowboys have controlled this game throughout. They lead by 16 early in the fourth. This handoff on the edge of the goal line to Scott Laidlaw will increase their lead to 33-10. They had no problem putting this game away in Kansas City. Our final score will be 36-17. Cowboys win. So looking here at the map, the Cowboys are going to take all of Kansas City's land, and they now have an interesting set of land themselves, from the tip of Texas and El Paso to the tip of Tennessee, with some areas moving as far north as western Missouri. We're down to our final 8 teams, lots of intrigue remaining. The wheel will select the Colts, and they will head slightly to the southwest. That's going to dodge West Virginia and hit the Dolphins' territory. What a great game we have in store for you next. This first half was a back and forth shootout. First Miami got their touchdown, then the Colts got theirs, and it didn't slow down. What we're seeing here is a snapshot of all of these touchdowns. Miami went ahead 14-7. Colts waste no time, it's 14-14. Dolphins right back, make it 21-14. And then the Colts, as time is winding down in the first half, this is Lydell Mitchell, right through the middle of the defense, a hot knife through butter. We'll go into the half tied at 21. Now things slowed down in the second half, but they didn't get any less intense. It's 27-27 in the fourth quarter. The Dolphins have a 3rd and 10. Bob Greasy goes down. The Colts brought the house. That's John Dutton with the sack. After the punt now, the Colts are backed up. This handoff is going to go to Roosevelt Leaks, and he makes a nice couple of moves, and he fumbles. That ball is out. The Dolphins recover. Might they run it all the way back in for the touchdown, down at the 3-yard line? 1st and goal. Benny Malone stopped. 2nd and goal. He doesn't quite get in. It is now 3rd and goal. They go to Norm Bulash, and he Bulashes his way into the end zone. The Dolphins now take a 34-27 lead. Can the Colts give us another dramatic ending? They have the ball back at 2nd and 14 on the 26-yard line. Burt Jones finds his tight end. Raymond Chester makes a nice play, gets to midfield. It is now 3rd and 6, 52 seconds to go. The pitch to Lydell Mitchell, having a monster game. Not a huge gain right there, but a first down. Now they're at the 36-yard line. They go to Mitchell again. Time's winding down. He makes a great play. He's running to the end zone. He's stopped at the 2-yard line as time expires. You've got to be kidding me. The Colts give us another thrilling ending, but this time they're on the wrong end of it. The Dolphins win this game 34-27, and it's almost sad to see the Colts go. We're not here to root for anybody. Imperialism is an objective enterprise, but the Colts have given us such excitement that seeing them leave the map here as they do is a little disheartening. The Dolphins take over their territory, and this is shaping up to be quite the finish in 1976. Let's check out this wheel now. We will find the Oakland Raiders. Arrow's going to take them to the northeast, so they're going to be expanding here into the state of Nebraska. We'll spin the wheel again to find that it will land on the Dallas Cowboys. Very likely a game coming up next. That's going to the northeast, and that's exactly what we're getting, and it should be a heavyweight matchup. The Vikings hosting the Cowboys. The Vikings have controlled this game throughout. Here very late in the third quarter, they lead by 14. Fran Tarkenton fires to Ahmad Rashad. That's going to be another Vikings touchdown. They extend their lead to 24-3. Dallas got one in late. It didn't matter. The Vikings handle their business handily. 27-9 is our final score. And might this imperialism just be heading toward another Vikings coronation? The Cowboys are wiped clean from the map. The Vikings now own more land than anybody else, and they move on to this final 6. Themselves, the Raiders and Dolphins, proper contenders. The 49ers, Bills, and Patriots looking to upset the apple cart. The end game is drawing near. This wheel will give us the 49ers. The arrow's going to take them to the northwest, so they're going to expand into the state of Oregon. We will revisit this wheel, and it will give us the Vikings, and the arrow's going to take them northwest. So here we go. Super Bowl 11 rematch. The Minnesota Vikings will travel to Oakland to face the Raiders. With the first half about to wrap up, this game is tied at 14. From their own 37, the Vikings pitch it to Chuck Foreman. He gets around the end, gets past some guys, drags a guy. The clock has expired. He is continuing to go. What a breakdown by the Raiders defense. That pitch looked like it was just trying to run the clock out, but Foreman turned it into a touchdown. 21-14 at the half, Minnesota. Oakland, though, in the second half, immediately charged down the field. Play action to Clarence Davis. The throw to Clarence Davis is a touchdown. So the Raiders, undaunted by that late touchdown, tie things up at 21. Now the Vikings have the ball. This pass goes to Sammy White. He's getting away from everybody, but he's run down by Phil Villapiano, a linebacker, forces the fumble. The Raiders recover. So now they've taken the ball down to about the 17-yard line. Ken Stabler, looking for somebody, throws to fullback Mark Van Egan. He makes the catch, and the Raiders have taken the lead with a 14-0 third quarter. 28-21 is the score. The Vikings looking to tie things up. The pass to Ahmad Rashad is intercepted by Willie Brown. He won't go down, but he finally did. But the Raiders now face a 3rd and 19. And the pass goes to Clarence Davis, a very safe play. They're going to have to punt it back. The Vikings drive it all the way down to the 7-yard line. The pitch to Foreman. And he stopped. It is now 4th down. This could be the game for the Vikings. The handoff to Foreman. He makes another great play. Gets through 2 guys. We're now tied up. The Raiders had a chance to cinch this game away. They couldn't do it. On the ensuing kickoff, Mike Siani's immediately stripped of the ball. It's picked up by Vikings linebacker Jeff Seaman, and this game has seen some twists and turns. The Vikings were down 7, and just like that, they're now up 7. So now the Raiders coming back at it. They are at the 38-yard line. Stabler tries to Davis again, and it's picked off by Paul Krause, and they're not going to catch him. The Raiders completely fell apart in this game in the 4th quarter. With 35 seconds left, the Vikings add another touchdown. They're going to go ahead and add another touchdown. Look at that 4th quarter. Score 28 unanswered points and win 49-28. So looking at the map here, the Vikings are going to pick up a whole lot of land. They're going to be completely dominant at this point. And like we said in the last game, this might just be on the way toward their eventual coronation. We are 4 games away from crowning an Imperialism champion in 1976. Might it be the Vikings? The wheel lands on them, and the arrow takes them to face the 49ers in San Francisco. This one's not a runaway. 14-0 in the 4th. The Niners trail. From their own 20, Jim Plunkett is strip sacked by Jim Marshall. Marshall picks it up, runs it back in for the touchdown. And the Vikings defense, way too good for this 49er team. That makes it 21-0. They tack on a field goal. Our final score, the Vikings shut out the 49ers 24-0. So the Vikings are systematically eliminating all of their competition. They now have the entire West Coast. They removed the 49ers from the map, and only 3 teams from the AFC East stand in their way of winning another Imperialism. This is our final 4. The wheel will land on the Dolphins. Arrow takes them north, so they're going to expand. That is the state of West Virginia. We'll try the wheel again it's going to again give us the Dolphins. The arrow takes them northwest, so no more expansion. They now have to travel to Minnesota and play the mighty Vikings. Miami trails by 11 in the fourth quarter, but they've driven the ball inside the 30. Unfortunately, on third down, they get knocked back. Doug Sutherland with the sack, forcing them to settle for a long field goal. 55 yards from Garo Yepremian. The kick is up, and it is good. 21-13. They're going to try the onside kick here. Let's see if they can get on this ball. They're going all out for it. They went so all out that Brent McClanahan picks it up and is scot-free running to the end zone. Wow. An onside kick return for a touchdown. Minnesota scores in every way possible. 28-13, they tack on more like they normally do. 37-13 is the final score. The Vikings win yet another game. So we got to look at the map here. Minnesota already has a dominant stake in the United States. It just gets more dominant. They take the Dolphins out of the game, and there's just two teams that can offer any resistance sitting there in the Northeast. The Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. And the irony is that Buffalo will be forced into the next game, as Minnesota and New England would not be able to play each other until the championship. The result of our next game will bring us to our championship. The wheel selects the Vikings. They go northwest though, so they're going to expand into South Dakota, so we don't have our game quite yet. Perhaps this is the spin that will get us there. It goes to the Patriots. They might expand, but they don't. That arrow's heading to the northwest, and that will clip the Bills' territory before it hits Vermont. So just like that, the Vikings are going to the championship game of Imperialism again. Can one of these two teams, the Bills or the Patriots, be the ones to knock them off? They're going to play each other first to find out who the Vikings will play. Early in the game, the Patriots are punting deep in Buffalo territory. Well, I guess they're not punting. That's a direct snap to Andy Johnson. He picks up a big gain of 21 yards. Nice trick play by the Patriots. On the very next play, it's first down. A more traditional handoff to Andy Johnson. Turns the corner, hurdles, outruns the defense, gets into the end zone. Touchdown Patriots. They go into Buffalo and take a quick 7-0 lead. They now lead 10-7, and Buffalo is punting. They're actually going to punt this ball. Doug Calhoun is returning it. Gets out past the 40 looking for midfield, but he fumbles. The ball is loose. Buffalo picks it up, and they're going to run it back in for the touchdown. They went from punting down 3 to leading by 4 points. Give credit to Jeff Kinney, man on the spot, running that back. Buffalo still leads 14-10. They've got all the momentum. Joe Ferguson finds Bob Chandler in the end zone. Touchdown Buffalo with little time left in the first half. 21-10 is your score. New England trying to do something. There's only 10 seconds left. They're on their own 47-yard line. The dump pass goes to Andy Johnson to run the clock out. But he has other ideas. He spins away. Oh, what a run. Andy Johnson got me by surprise. I didn't even realize he was going to score. As the clock hits 0, they actually missed the extra point, but 21-16. Now it's 21-19 in the third quarter. Steve Grogan throws to Andy Johnson. Touchdown, his third of the game, his second receiving. This was Andy Johnson's career year with the Patriots, and he's coming out in this game. It is now 26-24. The handoff to Johnson. Pitches it back to Grogan. Finds Randy Bahada. Touchdown Patriots. Johnson's presence made that happen. The Patriots take a 33-24 lead, and that's going to be our final score. It was the first time the Patriots had to play in this season's Imperialism, but they went into Buffalo, their division rival, and they got the huge victory. So here we are, the Minnesota Vikings and the New England Patriots. Now, we have to mention this. The 1976 Patriots were a very good football team. They made it to the playoffs. The Raiders, who only lost one game all season, lost that game in a blowout to the Patriots. The Patriots lost to the Raiders in the playoffs on a controversial roughing the passer call by Sugar Bear Hamilton. This Patriot team is capable. This should not be taken for granted as a walkover by the Vikings. But they're going to have to go onto the field, and we're going to spin this wheel to see where they're playing the game. And here is that spin. It's gonna hit the Vikings. So they have to travel to play the Patriots. Can the Patriots handle this super team at home? This is for the 1976 Imperialism 11 Championship. The game's opening drive, the Patriots take it into Vikings territory. Steve Grogan looking for Darryl Stingley. The defense was there, but Stingley makes a great catch. It is now 1st and goal. From the 5-yard line, Grogan drops back, looks for his other receiver, Randy Vahada, touchdown. And that's as good a start as you can ask for the Patriots, jumping out to a 7-0 lead. The Vikings, you know they're going to have some kind of answer. Here it is, 2nd down, they're in their own territory. The pitch goes to Chuck Foreman, and that is Bob Howard forcing that fumble, and the Patriots recover. Can they take advantage? They've now got the ball just inside the 10-yard line. From the shotgun, they hand it off to Sam Cunningham. He gets through the middle, and he dives short of the end zone, but he will score on the next play. And wouldn't you know it, the Patriots have jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Could this be their season? The Vikings now coming back in the second quarter. The handoff to Brent McClanahan, and he fumbles. That is rookie corner Mike Haynes, future Hall of Famer, but a rookie in 76. Unfortunately, the Patriots couldn't take advantage. It is now the third quarter. It's still 14-0. Vikings ball. The pass to Chuck Foreman. He's streaking toward the end zone, but they stop him. Here on 1st and goal now, the handoff to McClanahan. Stuck in the backfield, and he's stopped. 2nd down pass to Ahmad Rashad, incomplete. 3rd down, McClanahan stuffed. What a defensive stand by the Patriots. The Vikings have to settle for the short field goal. The Vikings have the ball again. It is now the 4th quarter. It's still 14-3. Fran Tarkenton on 4th down, forced into the incompletion. Can the Patriots put this away? From the 25-yard line, play action pass. Vahada, his 2nd touchdown of the game. The Patriots have a commanding 18-point lead in the 4th quarter. They exchange touchdowns, and that's it. It's a set, but it's not an upset. The 1976 Patriots are good. We've talked about this. And they host and defeat the reigning Imperialism champion Vikings 28-10. So looky here. A lot of people might not have seen this coming as early as 1976, but this team is getting some deserved redemption. The way they lost in the playoffs to the eventual champion Raiders and the fact that they beat them so badly during the regular season tells us the Patriots could have won the Super Bowl this year. That didn't happen, but they will win Imperialism instead. 1976 was the 4th time the Vikings made the Super Bowl. It was the 6th time that they made the Imperialism Championship game. It was also the breakout season for the Raiders, who had consistently been a good team, but had never won the Super Bowl. In 1976 Imperialism, the Vikings took up the role of runners-up once again, but it was the New England Patriots, a one-time, one-year team that got the job done. Looking at this Patriots roster, first at the offense, they had a bunch of guys who were very good NFL players that peaked this season. Outside of John Hanna, who had a long Hall of Fame career at guard, lots of these guys didn't do it for a very long time. Now looking at this Patriot defense, again, a lot of long-time guys. Julius Adams comes to mind, who had nice careers but were never top of the line. They do have a Hall of Famer here in Mike Haynes, who was a rookie in 1976, but he was instant impact. All in all, a very well-balanced roster that didn't stay together or didn't stay this good, but they only needed it for 1 year. Overall scoring picked up in 1976, as witnessed by lots of these games. You see the Rams having scored 31 points and lost, many other teams scoring in double digits and losing. The second half of our game see this even more. We had that incredible overtime thriller between the Colts and the Steelers. The Patriots never showed up until the last 2 games, but they won one of those games on the road and then beat the mighty Vikings for the championship. Wins were a lot more spread out in 1976. 14 different teams won a game, but only 3 teams won more than 2. That was the Dolphins and the Colts with 3, and the Vikings with 5. Those 5 wins catapulted the Vikings back to the top of the overall standings with 30 different wins. Looking at the bottom of this middle row, we see the Patriots and the Raiders, both at 5 and 10, both Imperialism champions. Their overall record doesn't reflect it, but they've got that title. And we wish to welcome the Buccaneers and the Seahawks to the standings. In their expansion season, neither won, so they sit at the bottom at 0-1 each. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit through this entire video. 2 new teams meant 2 more games, something we're going to see again a few seasons down the line when the Panthers and Jaguars enter the league in 1995. We humbly ask that you take the moment to like the video, share it with others. Imperialism is a fun concept. We're happy to be engaged in it. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos, not just from Imperialism, but from anything else we do on the channel. In a few days, we're going to be ready for 1977. Every Imperialism video we have completed is posted in the link below. And if you're watching this in the future, then you'll get to see some from after the fact of this season as well. Let's take one more look at this patriotic United States of America map, covered by the colors and logo of the New England Patriots, your 1976 champions. Thank you again, and we hope you have an awesome day.